Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for being here for another video. Thanks for joining me for my A-Listers series. This is a series where I talk a lot about reselling. And I kind of try to compart with you the things that I do to generate sales on all platforms, because I do sell on eBay, Etsy, Poshmark, and the like, and Mercari as well. So I want to always talk about that and try to get people motivated to keep selling, to keep doing what you wanted to do in the first place. Don't lose that passion. We are going to talk a little bit today about Poshmark, what I love about it, what I hate about it, why are people quitting it, why do people start every day as well and love it, and what's going on with that particular platform, who is, I believe, is already over 10 years old, if I'm not mistaken. I know I started there the day they opened the doors. I didn't really get traction with it until a couple of years later, but it is a very unique platform, and it is a thriving platform, and I think you should all get on board. I want to say hello to a couple of people in the chat as soon as I take a drink, because I just got back in here from my field trip. I hope you guys got a chance to watch that video. That was a lot of fun. And I did manage to get some more footage for you guys, and I'll bring you that in a recorded video. And those of you that are new to the channel, this is the kind of things we talk about here. I do a lot of jewelry talk. I do a lot of jewelry and jarrings. Love to do that. That's always been my hobby. My passion is collecting jewelry, but my other passion is reselling. And I started reselling at flea markets, started with eBay when that came into play, and then all of these new platforms. I love to try them. They're not all for me. They're not all for everyone, but I think if we talk about it and see what's going on, we can learn which ones, you know, will suit us and which ones will serve us. And then you don't have to be on every platform. That's an absolute not something that you have to do. But if you can, and if you have the time, I do. I'm at least on, like I said, 4 or 5. I also sell on Amazon. But you know, it's up to you how much time you have, what kind of things you're selling, and that kind of thing. So let me welcome a couple of people in the chat. Oh, my eyes are burning. I don't know why. Okay. Tracy, I believe that's your name, right? Uniquely Me. I'm so glad you're here. Lisa Lemons, Kathy Valentine, Guillermo, Fairy Vixen, Beth Collins, MLA Creators, and Marie Deathly, I believe, or Deathy. Guys, did you check out Elvis? Does he not look great there? Yes, I brought him home. That was great. I'm going to bring you a thrift haul from there. Well, I recorded it. She allowed me to record in her house, and I'm so excited about that score. Like I said, I've been going to that lady's house, her flea market. It's basically like a little mini flea market for a lot of years. And so, yeah, I'm going back, but I'm going to have to go back with a pickup. Absolutely going to have to go back with a pickup. But I'm going to bring you the live haul from what I grabbed from her today. And I was totally surprised by the lot that I put together and that she gave me the price on. I was not expecting it to be so low. And so, you know, I'm going to probably stop there every single day on the way home tomorrow from work, every day from this week on, until I get my husband to go with me to pick up more stuff, because I'm super excited about it. But on to Poshmark. And we can, guys, if you want, we can open it up to Q&A at the end of my spiel here about Poshmark. So get your questions ready, highlight them for me in caps, or highlight my name, and I'll try not to miss them. I know I miss a lot of people, and I don't mean to. Beth Collins is here too, Kathy Valentine, and others. I appreciate you guys being here, spending time with me. First things about Poshmark. I have several videos about Poshmark. I think I did my first one 4 years ago. So I will link those below, and I think they're important to have those kinds of tips that, you know, even though Poshmark has innovated and changed things a lot, some of their basic tenets still hold truth. So I will link those. But the first thing about Poshmark that people keep saying is wrong and is a troublesome aspect is the sharing. And I keep hearkening back to, it's not any more time to share than it is spending 20 minutes. And that's cutting it short, because, you know, and I do it too. I can spend an hour and a half or 2 in front of the computer watching someone's video. And if it's not a teaching video or an entertaining video, but it's a rant video or it's a drama video or it's a cat video or something that, it's just a waste of time when I could be on there sharing my closet. It doesn't, and I have about 200 items on Poshmark. And it doesn't take me, I don't even think the hour. I think it takes me about 25 or 30 minutes to share my entire closet. And then I don't go in and share everybody who shares me, but when I do, and I do appreciate when you do, but I try to do one or two if people who share my things. What I do like to do is go into the parties, because the people that are in the parties are really avid users. And they're there to gain more followers and to sell their products more effectively. I don't have the exact schedule with me, but I know they have a jewelry one, I think in the early afternoon. So I love that one. I also love the one with designer bags when I have a designer bag to offer. And that's what I like to do, because once you go in there, you share your things. And if you find one or two people and scroll around, don't just do the very ones you see at the top. Go around and do the top ones and then go to the middle and grab some people there. And then at the very bottom and grab some people there and share one of their items, just one or two at the most. And I tell you, maybe you will spend 25 minutes doing that and you will gain, I guarantee you will gain at least 100 shares from there. And it just works. It really, really does work. It's not any more trouble than going into eBay, twiddling around in there where you have to, lower the price, up the price, which I do. And I used to do formal sales on eBay. I told you before, I don't do that anymore. It's just so troublesome to go into that interface and work with eBay on, picking out this and then picking out that. And then, no, I don't want to do this one. And yes, I'll do free shipping on this. I just rather go in manually at eBay and change it that way, reduce my prices a little bit. I like the way they've actually added the 10% or so on, I don't know, what is it called? I don't know, some kind of pricing where they actually reduce the price for you. I love that about eBay. I kind of wish Poshmark would do that too, but a little bit less, because Poshmark does charge quite a bit in commission. But honestly, I don't really see the point of that people make that sharing is so time consuming, or they don't like the social aspect about it. Really, you don't like the social aspect about it, but you love YouTube. You love YouTube, you love Facebook, you love checking to see what cousin Mary has new in her house, whether she put the pool in or not. You love to watch that. I know I do. I had to step away from Facebook. I really did. Because not only did it get political and ugly and things like that between family, but, it's just, what am I gaining from that? Once in a while, I'll put a picture of my grandson or something. I like to do that. That's basically what I've done on Facebook now, is share the pictures of my grandkids. I no longer share funny videos or watch funny videos. It's just a waste of time. But why not do that time on Poshmark? Why not spend that social aspect that you say and you scoff at, but you're entrenched in it. You met your boyfriend online. You met your husband online. Some people are even meeting friends online, people that are no longer able to make friends because maybe they don't work anymore or so forth and so on. They're actually going on these apps to make friends, to hang out with girlfriends and whatnot. So we are all entrenched in this social media. Let's stop scoffing about it and let's embrace it. Let's go for it where we can get some profit from it. I don't really see anything so time consuming about Poshmark. Now, I will say this as well. Feed Poshmark. Don't think just because you put a nice Louis Vuitton up there that's going to, hold you forever, or you found some beautiful, Louis Vuitton shoes or this and that bag, or, the latest tweed jacket. That's not going to sustain you. It wants to be fed as well. Keep feeding your Poshmark, because as you do, the people that are following you are seeing that you just shared something and they're going to share it for you. Every time I put a new listing, I get at least 3 or 4 shares. And that's when I don't share, because at times I don't share. I mean, I may go a whole week and not share. But then there's a day where I'm like, yeah, I'm going to share it today. I'm going to list. I'll do some bomb shares like I talked about last time, where I'll get like an item that I really want to sell. The last thing I think I did that with was that Chanel wallet that I sold for my sister. And I shared that in a bomb share every day for, I believe, about 8 days. It sold pretty quickly once I did that bomb share. A bomb share, basically, guys, is to go in there and share it like 20 times, like maybe two times a day, 20 times, or at least once a day, 20 times. And that way, several people see it, because not everyone is on that site at the same time. Not everyone is looking at it at the same time. So you're not bombarding all of your followers with that one, Chanel bag. Now, don't do that in a party. In a party, you'll be a nuisance. You'll be kicked out. No, you won't. But, it's just a nuisance. Don't do that in a party. But in the party, go in there, find 2 or 3 people, especially the kind of people that you see they've taken the time to put a pretty picture. You can tell that that is their niche. Go in there and share a couple of her items, and you'll see that she'll share hers, and then her followers will share hers, and the sales follow. And don't be afraid to lower your prices. Just because you're on Poshmark doesn't mean they're going to give you top dollar. Remember, just like you hate losing that 20%, people hate paying that high shipping. They're going to go hunt elsewhere as well. It's all about everyone wanting a little bit of a bargain. We all want it, whether it's by expecting a little bit more on Posh than eBay, or the buyer who wants you to lower it down or accept a bundle. If they want to have that bundle, at 10% and you can do it, do it. Now, another myth that I want to address, or a myth that I want to address, is the one in a bundle item. Someone asked me a question about it and said, does that mean I have to offer them a better deal when they put something in a bundle? I don't even offer them when they put a bundle. That's just my practice. You may have yours, and yours may work for you. And please be sure and share it in our comments and in our chat what your strategies are. But mine is I don't touch a bundle unless they send it to me. And 9 times out of 10, guys, the ones they send me are not lowball. They're incredible. I probably would have offered a lower price than what they offered me. I'm talking like $5 off the entire purchase of those 3 items or whatnot. Granted, I have already lowered a lot of my things, especially in the clothing. So I'm ready to rumble with those bundles. I really am. I want to get those offers, but I do not initiate an offer at all. I think I've tried it once or twice with the offer to likers in a private. I have done that. And that's how I sold the Chanel. I believe I lowered it by $100 or $50 or something like that. And it had only had, I think about 14 likers, and one of them did take me up on that offer. So it works, but it doesn't work for everything. And again, we are talking about the product here in the 4 tenets of selling: product, price, promotion, and placement. And the product, everybody wants Chanel. The price, it was a price they couldn't resist. They really wanted it. It's a serious buyer. They're going to take it. But otherwise, no, just because someone puts something in a bundle doesn't mean you have to go make them an offer. It doesn't mean that at all. Wait for them to put it together with at least 3 items, then maybe do it. And even then, I don't. I wait for them to come to me. Now, I have heard many people say that's the buyer's strategy to get you to make them the offer. So again, your own discretion. So let me see if I have any questions or any comments. And Nadine is here. Guillermo, thank you for being here. Tanya at Thrifty Treasures is here. But yeah, I just have to really, I really have to say that I think it's bogus to say it's too social. From where? What isn't social? What isn't social these days? It's not that big of a deal. It really isn't. I think you can share your closet in 30 minutes, and you don't have to do it 4 times a day. I think you share your closet in the same way by feeding it, by adding new listings, by tweaking your prices, maybe changing a picture and all of that. That just like it does on eBay and Etsy and everywhere else. Etsy, as soon as I start putting new items, I start selling. If I ignore it for a year, I don't sell anything but once every 6 months. So it's all up to you on that. You really are not wasting your time if you're selling on there. Now, I do have a big complaint about Poshmark, and I have to have a caution for you guys. And one is the boxes, okay? A few years ago, well, maybe about a year ago, someone said they actually contacted Poshmark, and Poshmark said, yes, you can use a flat rate. And this is a flat rate, as is the padded envelope, and it will say here on the side, medium flat rate box. So this is about $14. You can put anything you want in it, but you can put any weight in it, right? Whatever fits. But you cannot put Poshmark in there, only if you want to risk it, because several people said you could. And someone said they contacted Poshmark directly, and Poshmark said you could. Well, you know what? A week passed, and one of my items never got tracking. Never got tracking. Here's another flat rate, right? Yeah, this is a flat rate envelope. So I was putting a lot of things in here. I put a slender box with jewelry. I could put a blouse in here, whatever was convenient. I have a bunch of them. And the padded envelopes, you have to order them. My post office does not have them. You have to order them. So they're kind of, you know, a nuisance to have to do that. But a week went by, guys, and then I get it. The item was canceled because it took a week. The item was canceled, and my postman brought it back. And on it, he wrote, "You cannot use this box, that medium flat rate. You cannot use a flat rate box." He wrote it right there, really clear, really nasty. Lost the sale, and I got the item back and whatnot. So you need to be clear on that. If they don't do that, why are they saying that they do it? Some post offices will take it. Another postman told me, "Well, you know, this is a flat rate." And I was like, "Oh, so you're not going to take it?" He goes, "Well, I'll take it." But that was another post office, because I use the post office by my work, and I use one here by my house. The one by my house, they're getting very picky. They also have gotten to where they don't want it to bulk. If it's bulking and you have to, you know, put extra tape to hold it down, they won't take it. So the only kind of box you should be using for Poshmark is the mailing box, and it will say their mailing box. It will not say flat rate. So I'm going to, you know, take it to heart. I'm no longer going to use the envelopes, as convenient as they are, or the little cardboard ones, or the medium ones that were great for handbags, because they're coming back, and I've lost sales, and I hate that. Why do they say we can use it? I mean, that's a part of the post office problem too. So don't take any chances, absolutely. And then I've had people tell me right there, "I'm not going to take it because it's bulking." And I'm like, "It folded." And she's like, "No, look at all the tape you had to put to hold it down." And okay, it had a little... I took it back and I reboxed it in a bigger box. So I do use these as well. These are great for Poshmark. They are the mailing envelope, and they are taking these. And what I do with jewelry is put the box inside. And even handbags that fit in here. Clothing fits really nicely in here. But I think at least 2 or 3 things have come back from Poshmark because of this box. And some have been rejected right there at the counter. She's like, "Out of here. You cannot use a flat rate with a I think it's paid for £6 or something like that. I forget what Poshmark pays for." So that's definitely a pet peeve of mine. Hi, how are you? Good to see you here, Kelly. Still trying to get you. I sent you 1,000 emails, but we'll work on that together. Anyway, that's definitely a pet peeve of mine, guys. Do not risk it anymore. And okay, on to that. I don't know if you guys know, but if you do, let us know. When you have a problem like that, how do you contact your buyer to let her know not to cancel it? And how do you stop Poshmark from canceling it, but letting it get there? Because it's got to get to you, and then you can go back. And it's just, you know, it's very confusing. It's not like eBay, where I had a problem with something that went awry somewhere else, and I contacted the guy, and he said, "No problem, I'll wait for it." And, you know, nothing happened. It was fine. He waited, he got his mug, and everything was fine. But Poshmark doesn't have that. As far as I know, you can go into one of their items or something and hope they see it when you put their name, you know, right after the @ symbol or whatever. But it doesn't always work for me. I never always get contact back. There's like no way to directly contact your buyer unless you go through Poshmark. And we all talked about that last time, about how Poshmark does that. They take forever to answer your email, and you have to have an email. Whereas with eBay, I could just call them, you know, and they could take care of it. Or I could email the customer directly and say, "Hey, this is what's happening. Give me a little bit of time. It's in transition." There's nothing like that about in Poshmark, so I just can't stand that about it. But I will say this, in the plus sign for Poshmark, there's no other place like it to sell the trends. There's no other place like it to sell your expensive items, be it jewelry, be it handbags, and all of that. Because I love their concierge service. It's automatic. As soon as they spend over $500, it's automatic. or people can pay for it for $39. That is very, very convenient. That's an extra security. It's almost like what eBay does with their international, because it goes to Kentucky and then they're responsible from there. The same thing here on Poshmark. So if they get that beautiful Louis Vuitton that they just paid $1,000 for it, and then the husband comes home and says, what the heck did you just do? Send that back. They can't do that because it's already been through concierge service. They can't make up a story like it's fake, or she didn't tell me about the little thread that's coming out of the corner of the left hand side of it. They can't do that. Posh has already said, you bought it, we inspected it, it's real, you're done. And that you cannot, I mean, that's priceless. That's a priceless convenience for sure. I really, really love that about it. Another thing that I think people are getting a little bit tired about is that it's hard to move clothing. It's a saturated market, but it's not saturated if you pick and choose the right items. You know your Lululemon's going to sell. You know your what's the other? The Victoria's Secret right now is so hot, not in just the regular Victoria's Secret gowns or anything like that, but in their athletic wear. You'll get good money there for that. Be very picky about what you choose to sell on there, because that's a 20% commission you're going to have extracted from your account. So be sure that you're very, very picky about the clothing you put on there. If it's not a Louis Vuitton or a designer item, make sure it's something that you know is going to move. There are quite a few tabs that you can search on Poshmark where you can see what's trending, what are the hottest items on there. Be sure and use that. Otherwise, you will get stuck with a closet full of clothes. And like I told you before, I am going to phase out my clothes and just do designer items, because I have found quite a few, men's especially. I find a lot of men's designer items. I find designer handbags. So that's what I'm going to stick to. I'm just not going to go into the Old Navy or, you know, any Forever 21. That belongs on eBay, maybe even on, what do you call it? On auction, because people are just they're not gravitating towards it, and they're not going to pay you what you expect. Excuse me. They're not going to pay you what you expect on Poshmark when they're hunting for it on eBay for a lot less money. And I was reading the other day, guys, I'm going to leave you with this. I think I got everything else I wanted to talk about. Yeah, the sharing. I wanted to talk to you guys about, you know, I don't know how many of you know about a mail order house from years ago called Lily and Vernon. Well, this lady, I believe she was from Europe. She was an immigrant from Europe. And she started this mail order business. And basically, it was the genesis of eBay and all of that. I used to order Victoria's Secret when it was just a mail order catalog. So it's very, very exciting to buy things for yourself. It's a great pleasure that everyone, I think, shares. Most people share that wonderful pleasure of buying things. That's why eBay thrives. That's why all of these online places thrive. People love buying for themselves and others. Well, this lady took it a step further, though. She not only did this catalog business, this mail order thing, but she had innovation in her heart, in her brain, and she thrusted it forward with her innovation being the monogram. That's what put her store on the map. Her Lily and Vernon store, everything was monogrammed. Your bracelets were monogrammed, your cups were monogrammed, your tablecloths, you could all get them out. She put innovation in there. And that is so important for us to always be thinking about when we market our things. What is different about us, about our store? What is different about what we can offer? It may not be better. Maybe it's not the Louis Vuitton, but maybe there's something really special about what you're offering. You know, it doesn't always have to be better, but it does have to be different. It does have to offer something that somebody wants. So I read about this lady recently, and I had never thought about that, though I have a jewelry box full of her jewelry that's monogrammed because I loved her stuff. And I have several things around the house that came from the Lily and Vernon catalog. And I think she sold it. She's now deceased, I believe. And she sold it for quite a few pennies. But she took it to that step. She took it to that step with that innovation of monogramming. And I have noticed people like Valerie here, I think Texas Valerie is what we call her, at, I think it's called Etc. Emporium. And she has a store. at on Poshmark. And she has a store there where she sells very unique items, very niche items. But I can guarantee you she does not do bad there. She's taken something different into a platform where everything is kind of the same with fashion and jewelry and high-end and teenage fashions and trends and all of that everyone else is doing. And she's done something different. And that's what I'm talking about. What can we do? How can we innovate our stores? How can we do something different? And I know Tanya has done something really great as well. She's always thinking of new things to do. She's done her little planners with those doll heads and things like that. So let's not always just sit back on our laurels and think and gripe and, oh my goodness, and my things are not moving and this and the other. There's innovation, and innovation is the only thing that propels us. It really is. And I have to sit back and admire people like that. I love that store, Valerie's. I wish I knew the exact name, but sometimes she's in my chat, and a lot of people know her. She's got a wonderful store there, and I am just so impressed with people who can do something like that. Take a niche store like Posh, where everyone says, oh, it's all poshy, right? Everything's fashion-oriented and whatnot. And she's selling some down-home, really cool stuff, lanyards and hats and good old boy hats and things like that. And I bet she does well because she's still on there. And I haven't heard her gripe about sharing. But anyway, I think that's all I wanted to say about Posh. Let me show you a beautiful piece of jewelry I got the other day. And I really, really love it. And I'm kind of, this kind of takes me to niches and things that I try to think about, like, look at this beautiful antique. I think it's antique. It's just Mark 925. But it's a little piece of onyx. And it's embellished with just a touch of marcasite. But there's something really brilliant about that marcasite on the bail and on the two ends of the onyx. And I just love that. And I think, you could even niche yourself with the kind of jewelry you sell. There is so much to do right now with the remedy, the self-healing stones and all of that. That's a niche right there. Or if you're into vintage, there's not just vintage on Etsy. There's vintage on Posh. And if it's not a big thing, you make it a big thing. Go in there and make it big. Make it yours. Sometimes we put our hands in all kinds of cookie jars. I know I do. And I try this and I try that. And then I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should just concentrate here. Maybe I should just do this. We do have the same nail color. I think I saw yours when you got it, Tanya. It's time for pink, huh? For sure. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that because when I thought about the story I read about Lillian Vernon, and please go back and Google her story. It's an amazing story of someone who built it in her home, but really propelled it to billion-dollar status when she had that innovation mind. And that's what it's all about, really. And there are a lot of stores like that. There are a lot of stores like that on Etsy for sure, but Etsy is not the only beast out there. There are places where you can do your thing too. The new things we've seen now with the art. I took you on that tour in at that little flea market that we went to. And then when she took me in the house, I saw even more beautiful things in there done from that lady with her jewelry. Why not bring that to Poshmark? Why does it only have to stay on Etsy? I'll leave you with that thought, but let me show you one of the beautiful things I got from there. It was so cute. Yes, the jewelry frames are amazing. She had even more inside. I did buy Elvis, as you can see. He's amazing. Let me show you. He's on a silver tray, guys. He's been decoupaged. I love it. I couldn't resist it. And I will bring you this thrift haul very soon, guys. Oh my gosh. It's just so cute. Don't you love what artisans do? This is what I'm saying. Bring your talents to these online stores. Why not? You see Tanya do it. She does great things too. And then that way you don't lose your drive, That's what we don't want to do, is lose our drive, lose our passion for what we do. Because once you lose that, you're just like, it's too much trouble. I don't want to share. But let me go watch this cat video. Let me watch somebody complain about Trump or something. It's crazy. I will bring you that thrift haul, but I could not resist showing you this. Look at this gorgeous elephant I found inside. Oh my gosh, I fell in love with him. I can't wait to put this one on Etsy. Oh my gosh, he's so gorgeous. He's got like Dumbo's face. She said it was really old. This was inside her house. I did get inside her house, and I'm going back, but I need a truck. My husband's truck's in the shop right now. I think he's going to borrow one or a trailer. We do have a motorcycle trailer we can take because we're going to go clean her out because she gave me a deal today that I was not expecting. I expected that quote for one thing that I had, and she gave me that quote, and it was under $100 for one thing. And then there's a box, there's a caboodle. I got a caboodle that has a bunch of jewelry in it, like wrapped up or other stuff. I don't even know what's in there. I know there's some jewelry in there. Oh my gosh, I'm dinging over there. And, but I want to do it with you because I want to be surprised. I don't even know what's in it, but I put it all together. I don't know. I don't know. Look, it's even got the dust on it, guys. You see, it's got dust. It's just brown on the bottom here, but I don't know if they had like maybe velvet on it. It feels a little rough. Maybe they put something on it, but isn't he beautiful? He's got like a Dumbo face, and obviously some kind of planner basket. Oh, just like, oh my gosh, I got to get that. And of course I got Elvis. So you've seen two things. We will show you the rest later. I just had to show you this, guys. Doesn't scare you to shit. No. I have, I think I told you last time I was a little leery about glass and things like that, as far as like really making it something that I would do a lot of. But when you see something like this, believe me, I'll triple box this thing. I will triple box this thing. But I just adore it. And yeah, that was sitting her thing. And then she had this is what I do want to go back and get. She already told me the price on it. It's a huge table, and it looks like it's from the 50s. But it's like she said it was a jeweler's table because this lady that gave her all the jewelry, a lot of jewelry, and a lot of it was, the lady that she's selling that hoard from is a lady that made all the topiaries and all of the crafts. And she said that was her hobby, that she was well into her 80s, late 80s, she was doing all of that. That's what she did with all her jewelry. But she has this table, looks like the size of a dinner table. And it has these prongs that you lift and move around. And on the prongs, you set these jewelry displays. So you can set like this thing to hold your bangles and other ones to hold necklaces and so forth. So I really want that table. I'm hoping that I can get to her before she sells it because she hasn't run her big sale yet. But all the prices that we saw today there, those were not her prices. Those were not her prices. She was like, I am totally reducing everything because she needs to be out of there in November. So I'm going to go back and look at more of her jewelry. I love this. Isn't this cute? I'm going to go back and look at more of the jewelry that she had out. I saw a lot of things that like the lady took jewelry and took it and made other things out of it. So she showed me a lot of little boxes, like for threads and things, full of pieces of jewelry. She said she had a trunk full, and she's an elderly lady too. I didn't even recognize her. I mean, she probably didn't recognize me either. I did not have white hair when we last talked. But she has a lot of stuff, guys. So I'm going to go check her out and see what else I can buy. And, I don't want to overbuy. I don't want to turn it into a little flea market here, but sometimes you just can't help it. And I did take some footage. I will show it to you. I asked her permission, and she said hello to everyone as well. So I'll bring you that in a ride along so you can see it soon. And but I did ask her permission. She said, sure, no problem. And she said hello to everyone in her beautiful English accent. So guys, I'm going to let you go. I hope you enjoyed this little snippet here on the A-listers, where we talk a lot about reselling and how to keep innovating, keep that passion burning inside of you for reselling, because you've got something that other people don't have. You just have to put it out there. All right. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks again for everything. If I didn't say hi, guys, please don't be offended. Hey, Norma, I really love all of y'all very much. Have a great week.